Good. I mean, I've had probably the last 5 threes before that just kind of went in and out. So, I mean, that gets frustrating. But at the end of the day, the percentages all take care of themselves. So, just got to stay confident and keep shooting the ball.
What's it like being in that role, coming in to knock down shots when you know you're going to get maybe 1-2 in a game, and you have to take advantage of that?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why you got to practice a lot because, when you're in that position, you're only getting a couple shots a game. And you got to make some. You're supposed to be a shooter. There's a little bit of pressure with that, but at the end of the day, just keep working on my shot. So.
I think obviously you were not in the Big East last year, but what have you noticed about the depth of the league so far throughout the first 3 weeks of league play?
Yeah, I mean everybody's good. There's just so much physicality in the league. A lot of really high-level players that we've gotten to play so far, and then we'll get to play a whole bunch coming up. So it's just a really good league, top to bottom, really.
What does it say about the parity of this league also that I mean, Marquette, UConn, USAL, everybody's beating everybody right now so far.
Yeah, I mean, that really shows how good of a league it really is. It's not top-heavy where, the top teams are just beating up on everybody else. I mean, there's, Butler beat Marquette. There's just a lot of upsets going on because every team's pretty good.
What's the mindset going into home games if you have aspirations of contending for the league title at the end of the day?
We just got to take care of business at home is what it comes down to. Making sure we win every single home game, especially conference play now. We have such a great crowd, such a great advantage. Just have to take advantage of that, really.
Anything you can recall from watching Rick Pitino's teams growing up, whether it was Louisville, the title run, or just getting a chance to play against his team now?
Yeah, I mean, he's a legendary coach, so obviously we'll have another really good team coming in. He had a bunch at Louisville, too, so, just a great coach and obviously going to have a good product on the floor always.
We're doing a spotlight feature on you. Your mom, great athlete at UNK. How did she help you with her athleticism, getting you prepared for this, what you're doing now?
Well, I got all my athleticism and height from her, so I'm thankful for that because her side of the family is where it kind of all came from, so obviously thankful for that. But she's always been really supportive in everything, obviously. Great mom, so not much more I could ask for.
So you're giving her a lot of credit here?
Yeah, probably all the credit.
You can't go wrong with that, right?
Yeah. My dad probably won't disagree either, so
Yeah.
I'll probably go with her.
Well, and then just quickly, your experience at Grand Island, starting since a freshman, how did that get you ready for this big stage?
There was just always pressure on me in those games. A lot of the team's success kind of depended on how I played that night. So just kind of keeping that in mind, and now knowing that I got to bring it every play here as well to be on the floor and to help the team as well.
Thank you.
You mentioned physicality. St. John's is a great offensive rebounding team. That's going to be the key team-wide, and you guys keep them in check in that area.
Yeah, we're going to have to kind of do it like we did at Georgetown, just kind of dominate the boards, really focus on boxing out and go grabbing the ball the next couple days in practice, and then having that translate to the game.
And you guys have been great in that area all season long, except for that Marquette game. Kind of what did you see in that game that you need to make sure it doesn't happen again in this one?
I think they were just more physical and they wanted it more than us. It's kind of what it came down to, so just have to obviously make sure that doesn't happen again.
I guess what's St. John's like? Navigate getting good shots against a team that's constantly switching defenses, putting pressure in your face, and sometimes do it in possession, switch those things.
Yeah, I think it has just a lot to do with our game plan going into the game. We've already watched a little bit of film on him. I've watched a lot of film on him. Obviously, Rick Pitino's a really good coach. He's obviously a Hall of Famer. But I think that the game plan Mac's going to set up for us on the offense is going to be really good. I think that with them always changing up their defensive and schemes like that, it keeps us on our toes. But I also feel like our offense is very reversible. Like, we can do a lot of different things with our offense to where if you do go 2-3, we can switch it up just in the flow of the offense. And just we do a really good job of adjusting to different schemes that different teams throw at us. So I think we'll be fine.
Ray, we didn't talk to you after the Providence game. What type of group are you in right now for the last 4 or 5 games?
Yeah, I mean, Big East play, so got to be at your best. Obviously, want to have a chance to win us a regular season title and give us a good chance going into March and just being able to play our best brand of basketball. So right now, I'm locked in, just trying to play my game and letting the game come to me and just play the way I've always played, and just obviously now I'm making shots and things of that sort. So that's good.
Trey, I think Steve said it's always fun watching greatness when referring to that final run of yours.
Yeah.
During the final stretch against Providence, do you agree with that at all? Did you hear that quote? What do you make of it?
I appreciate that. Obviously, it was just kind of one of those things where you just kind of get into a groove and you kind of work through it. So I think that obviously my teammates were finding me, but also I felt like it was just one of those things like you knew that it was towards the end of the game, and I knew that I was just kind of getting into a groove and I wanted to take over the game towards the end. So that's just kind of what I did, and I was able to help my team get a dub. So that was the biggest thing. And obviously Devin Carter had a great game, so me and him going back and forth was pretty good to see. It was fun.
Have you done anything differently to get to your spots deeper in the paint?
Yeah, I think it just comes with just playing at my own pace. I think that a couple of games this season when I wasn't playing at my best, I was kind of letting the game speed me up and kind of hurrying things a little bit. So I think that as I was watching film, I was just trying to make sure that I was just taking my time and being able to get to those spots. You know, as a basketball player, you know what spots you can get to and what spots aren't there at that point in time. So really just a feel for the game and just knowing when to pick my spots has been the biggest thing.
Soriano's one guy on that roster you played against. What challenges does he present, and what's going to be the key to keeping him in track as a team?
He's a great offensive rebounder. I think he averages like almost 4 offensive rebounds a game, which is big, and I think that's kind of been something that we've kind of struggled with a little bit this year at times, is kind of stopping guys from getting off of the offensive glass. So I think that if we're able to control him from the offensive glass, I think that Kalk will be able to handle him in the low post. I think that we'll be just fine in terms of his low post presence, but obviously the biggest thing is trying to keep him off of the glass and just keeping them from going on those runs to where they feel like they can switch up those defensive, and that's kind of when you're at their will, is when they're able to just throw a lot of different things at you, and kind of you're at their will after that. So.
One more track.
What's on the guards Saturday in terms of helping on the defensive glass and getting you guys out in transition so they can't set?
I think that's big. Obviously, it starts off with defense. We have to get stops first, so I think that's the biggest thing. But obviously, Baylor's been rebounding the ball at a high level, so I think that just for us to me and Baylor to be able to rebound the ball and be able to get it out as quick as we can is going to be able to help the break as much as we can, so we don't have to deal with those different type of zones and kind of defense that they throw at us. So I think the first plan of action is us getting stops, and then after that we'll be able to run and play our brand of basketball.
You know, I think part of it's 11 new guys and in a new system, and trying to figure out what Coach Pitino's expectations are and figuring out each other. And he saved some stuff for conference play that has showed its face now. Some different defensive looks that they did not use in non-conference play. So they've got a lot of versatility across that lineup, and they've become pretty good on both ends of the floor.
Matt, do you think St. John's kind of personifies the depth of the league this year from where they were last year to the start of the ball now?
I mean, you can't really compare a team to last year in this day and age because you can go get a whole new team. And that's what they did. I think Joel Soriano and maybe one other guy on the bench are the only two that were on the roster last year. So trying to compare a team from year to year in this day and age doesn't make a lot of sense. He brought in a whole new team, and he's pushing all the buttons right, all the right buttons right now because they're playing at a really high level. And they're only, they had the ball down 2 and inside of a minute and a half left at UConn. They're not far from being undefeated in the league.
You're really good. You're really good on the defensive glass. They're really good on the offensive glass. What do you think the potential chain reaction of what can affect each team? How big of a battle is that?
Well, it's huge, because we like to operate in transition. You can't operate in transition unless you get a stop and a rebound. And they've just absolutely beat people up on the offensive glass. I think they lead the country in second chance points. So, not only do they chase them down, they're really efficient once they get that offensive rebound to turn it into points. So it'll be obviously they have our makeup isn't quite what theirs are. So, we're going to have to make sure we execute our blockouts and try to create some space and then, stick our nose in there and go get the ball.
Does coaching against Pitino descendants like Kevin Willard over the years, has that helped you prepare at all for what he brings on game night?
I don't think so. I think everybody's kind of their own person, and while there's some similarities, maybe to a few things that Coach Willard did, Coach Pitino obviously is a Hall of Famer. He's won really everywhere that he's been, and it's not surprising to see him doing what he's doing at St. John's.
Doing a feature on Trout, does he bring maybe something different that people might not know watching the games? What do you like about him?
Yeah, I like everything about it. Number one, he's a great teammate and just an awesome young guy. But his ability to shoot the basketball and stretch the defense has been huge for us in the early going, and he's learning the rest of it. Going through the Big East the first time is challenging. It's physical. It's very fast paced. Nothing comes easy, and he's learning that, and the learning curve is pretty steep right now. But it's good to see him have a few shots going at DePaul the other night. I think he needed that.
How do you operate offensively with a team that sometimes will switch defenses in the middle of possession?
Yeah, you just can't get paralyzed by whatever they're doing. You just have to keep moving, and it's a little more difficult against a team like St. John's to run some set plays that go from A to B to C. You just have to move yourself and move the basketball, and then trust in each other to make plays. And as I said earlier, that's why the importance of a defensive rebounding is so critical, so that we can get out and operate in space before that defense is set.
Two more. What kind of added excitement is it, just from a fan perspective of, having a Hall of Fame coach in the building for a game like this?
Yeah, I think it'll be fun for our fans. Obviously, we've had some great teams and great coaches come through there over the years, and he's another one to add to the list. His resume speaks for itself, and whatever it is, 7 or 8 Final Fours, whatever he's been to, and also a successful NBA coach. So, he's one of the best college basketball coaches to ever coach the game, and I think I'm not sure our fans will greet him with a lot of warmth and excitement on Saturday, and we're not exactly rolling out the red carpet from a weather perspective either. So we hope to make their stay in Omaha pretty miserable.